Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Spence. Okay.
Sorry. I'm just joking.
And Nick is here.
Amnon,
Sir.
will you be my Valentine?
Of course.
Oh,
How do they do it?
I okay, that's too far. I gotta go. Oh, you do like that? That's like a gang sign. Don't do that.
Today's show is made possible by vMix Software, by DudenIT.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. And if you're telling me that you're not seeing today's show on the video, I believe it because I don't see it. I see the old one.
I see
What
it.
is going on? Yeah, but I'm saying this is weird that I'm not seeing that it did not actually just switch. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Whew. So what is going on?
It's soggy.
Yeah, it is.
I took a picture of how my front lawn was just like standing water this morning, or last night. I couldn't believe it. It's been raining so hard. Ground can't absorb any more rain. So
Did you guys see the temperatures in the Midwest right now?
I
No.
didn't. No.
So it's like negative 25 degrees in like parts of Texas and Oklahoma right now.
I
They're
saw
getting, like,
Texas.
wow.
Did you see the
They're getting,
ice?
like-
Did you see the
They're gonna
black
get like
ice
18
accident?
inch. Yeah, oh yeah, they're gonna get
Yeah.
like 18 inches of snow today, which is gonna be crazy to see how that area handles all that. That'll be pretty cool.
I have several friends I used to work with who live in the Dallas region or Houston, and I couldn't believe how they would get more snow there than we would get here.
It's currently negative 17 degrees in Oklahoma City.
Wow. Oh, I know somebody who lives just outside Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Right in Tornado Alley.
So pretty amazing.
Well, it's nice to know that we don't have that.
Yeah.
Nope. Global warming.
Yep. What else while I'm setting up Facebook and stuff?
I don't know.
Parlor didn't come back.
You know, I tell you what, I got a real bone to pick with whoever's doing that. They keep giving dates.
Well,
They're just making idiots of themselves.
It
It's
sounds
really
like-
frustrating.
it sounds like there's a big I mean, they whacked their CEO, and
Yeah,
then,
he's
he
gone.
came out with all kinds of like, really not my fault. It's their fault. So it's a lot of back and forth going on.
Yeah.
But clearly, something was wrong.
I mean, at this point, I don't see any point of it even coming back.
Why?
I just don't see the use.
Well, better that they wait
Mm.
and fix it than throw it out there and fail again. If it is possible to come back, who knows? Are they able to find somebody to host them that can give them the strength that they need now that everybody else has pretty much found another place? If they're looking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've been gone long enough that, like, what will the benefit be of them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Mm.
I think all these sites are terrible anyway. You should get off all of them.
I'm going to start a new social media company, but we're going to use the U.S. Postal Service. So I'll post something and I'll mail it out to everybody, and then they'll send me mail coming back with their responses.
Literal snail mail.
That's it. Yeah. Probably more reliable than some other ways to do it.
Well, it's definitely not, because the Postal Service lost my FCC license upgrade.
Oh,
You're
So-
kidding.
No.
ouch.
So it had to be resubmitted. So that's why I still, if you do a query of my my license, I'm still listed as a technician. I got a message from the group that I did the upgrade with, and they're like, "Yep, the FCC, our package never made it to the package of all the exams never made it to the FCC." So,
Dang.
yep, gotta love the post office.
So that means that you cannot get the same.
No, they just have to resubmit it all. But I mean, I took the test like January 5th.
It's not a matter of the. Oh, so it's when it went from you to the FCC or from FCC coming.
No, I don't submit anything. The group I took the test
Right.
with mails the results to the FCC.
Right.
It never got there.
Oh, okay. So that's what happened. All right. That's what I was wondering, if it was on the way there or on the way back to you. Huh.
They should have used that method in the in that worm that somebody created using Morse code to write a JavaScript.
Yeah.
They could have used Morse code to create an image of your documents and send it to the FCC that way.
I saw a story the other day from Channel 11 of a reporter that got a Christmas card last week that was postmarked like December 6th, and it just finally showed up. And it was from Durham to Raleigh. Like, it was a very short distance, but it obviously got lost in a system somewhere.
We've had lots of examples of that. There was something we sent a check to for a person to buy something for a group that we're part of. And it's like 3 weeks later, says, "I didn't get your check." I said, "What do you mean? We mailed it on this date." And he finally got it a week later. So it was almost a month.
Yeah.
It was lost. Just couldn't find it. So,
Good old post.
well, it's, you can't come out and blame an individual person. It's a system. If it would be good to privatize it, because then it would actually have some, I hate to say this to the postal workers. I know they work there, they have a pension and all that stuff, but hey, it's got to be, got to have some way to reassure people that this is a working system that's going to stick around for a while.
Well, the real question is, though, is why don't we just stop using it? Like why? So, why are we still submitting, like, this FCC exam I took? Why is that still being submitted via the mail? That's retarded. I mean,
I have
there's no reason that can't be done digitally. That makes no sense.
I have a monthly premium that I pay for a prescription drug plan that I have to mail a check or send a piece of paper with a credit card on it every month.
I don't understand that.
There's no way it just isn't any way to do it. They don't do.
That's
they
what I'm
don't do
saying.
anything else.
There's your problem right there. It's not. It's the system that just is stupid. I don't know. Hey, Gob.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. I already stole Amnon. He's my Valentine, so I got dibs. Sorry.
Now, look, you guys should not fight over me, okay?
Why? No.
Hey, I got all dressed up and everything. Come on.
Oh. So,
I was such a cheap guy today. I actually made a card for Pam. She bought one for me, but I actually made one for her. So I'm the
You
one
mean-
that was,
Sounds like you were the more sentimental one.
well,
Yeah. I mean, you can convince yourself that's the case. Good luck. It's called mental illness if you can convince yourself that that's accurate.
yeah.
That's pretty fun.
so listen to this. When 90-year-old Aaron Epstein bought a Wall Street Journal print ad to complain about his slow AT&T internet service, the impact was immediate. Reporters called him and wrote articles. Talk of his plight went viral on the internet, and AT&T executives sprang into action to minimize the public relation damage. Now, barely a week later, he is at home in North Hollywood, California. Now, we're not talking about rural, middle of nowhere in the mountains. And he has AT&T fiber service with unlimited data and advertised speed of 300 megabits in both directions.
So, you know what's happening there in the Hollywood Hills?
What?
It's a real problem. Those rich people over there, they don't have good internet.
Oh no.
No, I'm totally serious. The infrastructure does not exist. I don't know where this guy specifically lives. and I
Okay, so
haven't
what's
looked
the
into it.
punchline, Gal?
There's no punchline. There's in order for I don't know which section of the hills there, right? But in order for to give good internet service, they need to pass new cables over there, and that means digging up Hollywood Boulevard,
Right.
and they cannot stop, right? That means shutting down Hollywood Boulevard. I guess
Okay.
this pandemic was the ideal time to actually go in and do it, but that has never happened. So, and it's not just AT&T; it's like all of the internet companies over there. It has become like a running joke. I watch a podcast by Kevin Smith. He lives up in the Hollywood Hills over there,
The
and when
actor.
he's doing shows from home, the internet is always crappy. So it became like a section in the show where they just talk about the internet and the problems and how they're trying to fix it and they can't.
Could it?
And
What,
and
does it
nothing
have
can
any?
help. Even Starlink and stuff like that, they don't cover that area, so they won't cover that area at all. So
Is it also an environmental thing? You have people objecting to them putting it in, or
no, it's about stopping the city completely because they need to dig it up to put
yeah,
in
but
the
but you're
main
right though. This is
infrastructure
a
of the
perfect
cable
time
line.
because the city was basically stopped anyway.
Yeah, but
I
it
guess
was
they couldn't go
completely stopped.
shopping on Hollywood Boulevard, or what was it? Was it Rodeo Drive, where they
Yeah, so I think the problem is
expensive
Hollywood
stores are?
Boulevard specifically. I don't know if it's only that.
They need to
Yeah.
just dig up Mulholland Drive going up over the hill. That's all. To put in fiber. They actually were in my neighborhood, at the head of my neighborhood, splicing fiber cables this past week. So they had the boxes in, and as soon as the boxes were done and all the cable was run, they're actually starting to light it up.
Should have run out with a cable and tell him, here.
Yeah, yeah,
Splice that in there,
Yeah.
while you're doing it. Just
No, I don't know when they were just at the
Yeah.
main drag at one of the exits to the neighborhood where they're pulling the fiber off a pole. It wasn't
Yeah,
buried.
right.
There's an what is it? MCNC, you remember that company?
Yeah.
They did a lot of metro fiber stuff. That's in the ground, but they're not pulling it from that.
Oh,
They're using AT&T's fiber on the pole.
yeah. Over here also, they told me that they're going to have to bring it down from the wall down because all the cable that goes down the street is underground. That they buried the fiber, but they bring it down from the pole. Yeah.
Yeah, they're done in our neighborhood now. You can see all the poles are in, all the boxes are laid and done. They got all the straw down where they had to replant grass, and so hopefully it'll be soon. Although I keep getting ads from AT&T. I mean, every couple of weeks I'll get another special offer. They disguise it now like it looks like a check that you get, one of those they print through the envelope kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where they tear the sides off. Well, that was the latest AT&T bundle and save, and they've been offering it to me for years, and it isn't possible even to get their service. But their service is they're 49. They advertise as cheap as $49.95 a month. That is for DSL, and there is a 1 terabyte cap. After that, you pay 1 terabyte. That's it. You pay extra, and the speed. They didn't even quote what the speeds were.
No, I thought that with the gig service, it's unlimited. Below it, they have
I realize. This is DSL. They're trying to bundle it with satellite TV.
They do. Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It
I
was
thought they stopped
49
selling
for each.
DSL.
They're selling something. This wasn't fiber.
Interesting.
So
It's like when you opt out of junk mail. They stop, but it'll take 3 weeks to process.
oh boy. Well, when I actually get the service, will they stop sending me advertisements for a lower
No.
grade service? No.
I can tell you no. I got the smaller package from Google Fiber,
Mhm.
right? Google sends me physical mail, so I'll upgrade to the 1 GB, which I don't need.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think I'm going to go with the not the fastest, but whatever, as long as it's symmetrical. I could use 100 meg. I don't have a lot of needs in the house.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I had originally.
Yeah.
Now it's 500 just because I think they just discontinued the 100.
Oh,
And so they bumped me in $5 a month. And so I'm paying $55 a month and I get a 500 instead of the 100.
And
I
that's
can
not
tell you, I
eh,
have never reached
and
above
that's not
100.
an introductory price.
No,
This
there's
is-
no introductory price with
yeah.
them. It's just the same price all over.
yeah. My daughter
That's
has
the one
essentially-
good thing about them. It's like their customer relation is about being fair, right? I'll give you an example. If there was an outage, like a neighborhood outage, which
Mhm.
happened probably twice the entire time I had it, I got an email about a couple of days after the outage saying, "Hey, we had an outage, and so we're reimbursing you, I don't know, 1 point something dollar this
Yeah.
month, right? Because of the
Wow.
pro time that you didn't have the internet, right? Nobody needed to ask them. Nobody. It's like they just
Wow.
let you know. Yeah, and
should try to get that out of
So-
Spectrum.
exactly. So it's nothing. It's stupid, but at least I didn't need to go and fight anyone on it. There's no. It's just this. They provide some feeling of respecting you, right? It's stupid. It's really stupid on our end because it's not like it's really different technical wise, but yeah, just this little things. It's like this approach. It's the different approach to the customer, and suddenly you're all for them. So
I
yeah.
wish that Verizon would take a lesson from these people, because I have another fight brewing now with Verizon, and with the two things now. I have one thing that was driving me nuts, was that I could not cancel Disney Plus. I'd gotten free Disney Plus for a year with Verizon, so I signed
Uh-huh.
up, and then I tried to just take it. The only way, because it's part of your Verizon account as an add-on.
Mhm.
So I
Okay.
could not get, no matter what I do, I've tried over and over again. Every time I go to that page to cancel the service, it won't, it just, their web page locks up.
You're
or
not
it-
supposed to cancel. You're just supposed to stop the auto renewal.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go in and just say, well, I tried to do it before it was over. So,
Yeah.
but recently my daughter got a new Motorola phone. She bought it separately and trying to get the phone to work. Everything seemed to work okay for voice, but an outbound text messages worked, but inbound did not work. So she went back and forth. This is more than a day to try to get this fixed. Tried a new SIM card, just went to Verizon. Oh, we're trying to fix it. And finally, she calls me to say, I'm on the phone with a technician. She needs to talk to you because you're the account owner, because they have to do something with upgrading us. Did I talk about this? Upgrading us to 5G temporarily in order to get this to
Yeah,
work.
you
And I said,
mentioned
why?
something like this a couple of months ago.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and
You needed
they
to
charged
buy the
me-
5G add-on just to activate
Yeah.
the phone, something like that.
yeah. And no, we have no 5G phones. So the point was that they said, oh, this will fix it. And it did. But the point was that they charged me $7.95 for the temporary 5G service. Then yesterday, I get this thing, your account, look at the new, your order, look at your recent order. And this is 2 weeks or more after this happened.
Uh-huh.
I go and I look at it, I said, what do you mean new order? Well, now we're all part of their Verizon Cloud, all 4 lines. And it says you get 1 month free. And after that, it's $7.95 a month. I said, what? So I went online and sure enough, It's all there. So I didn't ask for this. I didn't sign up for any cloud service, but they have me in it, and I have to opt out. It's not like I have to opt in. So we're going to have a powwow today. The family's all coming over. So it's my two daughters, Pam and I. We're on the same account. We're going to look at alternatives. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would even go with Spectrum just to stick it to Verizon, because their pricing at $40 a line uses the same infrastructure as Verizon. If that's true and it works okay around the country, I'm done, because it'll save me $60 a month.
Okay, so talking about wireless pricing in Israel, just guess. I'm talking about a prepaid line, which are usually more expensive, right, than the postpaid, than the ones that we bill later. A prepaid line for 70 gigabytes of traffic, 4G, right, and unlimited talk and for a month. How much do you think that would cost?
$50.
How much would it cost in the States?
$60.
$60, right?
Yeah.
60 shekels. 60 shekels, right, is like, it's not a fourth, it's a bit more, right? A third. Let's say a third of that price.
Wow.
That's for the prepaid plans. Right? If you buy it in a postpaid plan with a family and stuff, it can go to 40 shekels. That's like $10 a line.
And how much was the data plan? 70 what?
There, the data was 70 gigabytes. But I'm talking about in the postpaid, you can probably get unlimited, right?
Wow.
So
I mean,
it's
if
completely bonkers what goes on here.
the issue we're going to have is that together we were saving money when we were all four on the same plan, but we're not anymore. So if I don't want them to have to go off on their own, I don't mind being on the same plan, because they're paying us, for their portion of it. But I wouldn't mind going with, what was the one that Nick was talking about last week? It's one of the prepaid plans that was
Track
really
phone.
good price. Track phone. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that if I had the coverage I needed, the places that I go. I wouldn't mind. But I know that I checked out the Spectrum plan, and they use Verizon's network. But in a place where Verizon uses somebody else's network, is there still coverage? So I looked at their map, I looked at Alaska, and it looks just like the Verizon footprint. So that would be a deal breaker for me if it didn't work in Alaska.
Yeah.
But if you look at the map of Alaska, it's not much. It's only along corridors of roadways. There is no service outside of that. It doesn't exist. Sat phones only. Oh, I sold a customer, or I'm their client. They're my client. It's a business that I do IT work for, and they're my accountant. I sold one of their workers on the new satellite internet system. They're going to sign up for it. They live in rural area of Carborough, where they have DSL is really slow, and they can't, their cell phones don't work there. So they're going to sign up for it.
Man, this is unbelievable. We're saying DSL, it's too slow. I remember if you could get DSL back when, wow, you were king.
ISDN. ISDN, baby.
ISDN was actually pretty fast.
Channel bonding. Yeah, you got 128.
Over here, DSL never got above 3 megabytes or something, right?
Five.
Like, 5, yeah. Now back in Israel, you get ADSL was 100 megabytes.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So that's when we left. That's around 2013, right? So, and now obviously there's also fiber going around at some of the places.
So,
so different.
Listen to this.
No.
Microsoft is at it again, kind of. Microsoft approached Pinterest in recent months about a potential deal to acquire the $51 billion social media company.
What?
popular with hobbyists posting home decor, food, and wedding clothes. Pinterest
tell
is
you
worth
what.
51 billion.
Yes, because their user base is so engaged. It is
Yeah.
unlike sites like Twitter and Facebook where, well, not even Facebook, Twitter, where you don't even have to, most people don't engage.
Mhm.
Pinterest is the engagement on Pinterest isn't, the only reason you use it is so that you create boards and link things. Yeah, that's the only reason. So
Yep.
yeah, that number's outrageous, but it's not
Yeah,
shocking.
the article was talking about that this is going to be one of Microsoft's biggest
Acquisitions.
acquisitions.
Funniest part, you can't even pay for it if you wanted to. Pinterest is literally free. There is no paid version.
So that means they're going to ruin it with advertising.
It's already full of advertising.
I think it already,
yeah,
Well,
and it's fine.
It's already full of sponsored content.
I only
Big
go
time.
there.
And that's where a lot of the money is you'll have these companies like Home Goods or whatever that will pump in all this sponsored content, and it's predominantly used by women. That's kind of the use case is that it's a lot of home decor and hobby stuff, which tends to sway more towards females.
I go there for ideas. I go when I want an idea on how, if I'm trying to come up with a plan for something and I want to see ideas of what it looks like, I go there because there's stuff that's up there is incredible.
It's a very cool site. I don't think I've ever had an account on it, but I don't have an account. Used it enough.
I just do a search on something, and at Pinterest is always the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see that what they'll do with it. As far as advertising, I mean, you mentioned advertising. I don't know about you guys, but I don't. It seems like I don't even see advertising on pages anymore.
Come
I
on.
mean, no, wait, hold it.
What about YouTube? YouTube drives you insane.
Hold it. They are there. My mind doesn't see them. I'm not even
you are using
noticing
an ad blocker.
I'm not using I'm not using an ad blocker.
Which your browser probably does.
It's
you
there.
Have a built-in blocker.
The ads are there, and you can see them from the corner of your eye. But it's like what I was trying to make a point of. It doesn't bother me anymore because I don't pay attention to it.
Well, let me tell you why. It's because the websites that you're visiting, are not cancer. That's depending on the websites you go to. Some ads, I agree. If they're sidebar ads, it's fine. It's
sidebars across the top.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't bother me either, and I see that stuff, and I agree. But the reason I run AdBlock is because which I run it on certain sites. I don't run it on sites like YouTube, but it's just because you can't browse some of these websites.
So
30 seconds to load the homepage.
Yeah. I mean, if it takes, if I go anywhere and it takes some time, I just go on. I don't even stay there. But I don't understand how these people are making money. I mean, I must not be the only one that is not paying attention.
But they don't need to. They just have to serve you the ad. That's the whole goal. I mean, you don't have to click it.
Yeah, if it's on your screen, I guess they get credit for it, right?
Advertising is a very interesting thing when you think about it, right? So let's say Spence owns a company. He owns Pepsi, and he's going to go out and hey, I mean, maybe I can get a little bit of that money. You're going to go out and spend what? 150
free diet Pepsi for everybody.
$200 million, on an advertising campaign or something like that. It's all smoke and mirrors. You're not actually getting anything. You're purchasing advertising in hopes to do something, but it's not. I mean, there's no direct transfer of money for profit. Advertising is very interesting when you think about it like that. Same thing with these little pop-up ads. Google will pay you to put ads on your website, and depending on how many people go to the site, they will pay you for it.
Not to mention the analytics they're passing back to advertisers in order to steer the custom advertising to you directly.
But just think of, I'm trying to think of, when was the last time I saw an ad on a website and went, damn, I need to go do that. I can't think of it. And maybe the advertising is working that well, but in my case, I don't click on that stuff.
The last time I did that, I paid because my credit card got compromised. I bought a drone.
That drone.
I bought a drone. I saw one. I said, this is a good price. And I went to a site, it looked legitimate. I was careful. Everything about it was careful. And I bought this thing. And then the next day I got an alert from a credit card company saying, did you just buy 2 video games online in London? I said, no.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, that was like 3 years ago. So I learned my lesson.
Can I do a special before we do specials?
You can always.
Why? Sure.
I don't mean to steal your thunder here, Spence,
No.
but the Roku Premiere is on sale. This is one of the lowest end devices that they sell. It's normally $35. It's on sale for $24.99. So I just picked one up. It's
What did you pick it up for?
my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
I need another. I was gonna get one of the other ones, but this is very cheap. So pick this up. It's 4K HDR. It's not the cheapest one. It's not the stick. It is an actual box. But it's obviously nothing like the Ultra 4K. So that is all.
I've been doing okay with the Fire Sticks, although if there's one that I don't use for a while, like in my office, I don't typically use it every day. Occasionally, like yesterday, I was sat down at my desk to do something and I turned it on and trying to watch something on YouTube, no audio. And I couldn't get the audio to work until I restarted the Fire Stick.
Yeah, they're weird devices.
But I need them because that's my Fire recast depends on it. So
Yeah.
other than that, for everything else, the one downstairs, the one we use every day, is pretty good. I haven't run into any reason to reset it. And we watch our recorded local TV. Pam is an expert now at scanning ahead because I still haven't mastered the little remote for stopping in time, but she's got it down to where she can scan ahead at the right speed and stop it exactly where the show picks up again after the ads are over. So
for the last, go ahead, Nick.
No, go ahead.
For the last week or two, I was trying to cast the Lifetime, the health fitness classes to the TV because Kathy likes yoga and all that, and she's not going now. So, and I was trying, and I got it almost to the point where it's actually talking to the TV because I can see it switching to it, but it does not really send the video. And Kathy's been looking into it, and I've been looking into it and searching and do this and every other story is talking about Chromecast. It's a Chromecast. This. Make sure your Chromecast is that. And make sure. I said, no, there's got to be a way to do it without it. Well, Friday night I give up and I said, the A word, get me a Chromecast. I got it yesterday, plugged it in. Within 30 seconds, you could cast the app from the phone onto the TV. I can't.
It can work without the Chromecast.
I'm sure it can.
Wait.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, I didn't want to bother you.
What app were you using?
The Lifetime Fitness app.
Now, okay, so it's possible that Lifetime Fitness app doesn't support Roku for
well,
Chromecast.
No, hold on. You guys are going just the wrong direction. That's all. When you're talking about casting, right? There are certain types of casting. One of them is Chromecast, and that needs application support, right? So from within the application, yes, you will need some support. There is another type of casting called Miracast.
That's the Microsoft standard?
Well, Microsoft uses it. It's not a Microsoft standard.
Actually,
Microsoft uses it as well.
Actually,
Android uses it as well.
Actually, the TCL Roku TV says that
Yeah.
Miracast is not supported.
Okay,
I came
so-
across it, but I didn't even know what it was. Now you mentioning it, and I just figured I'll tell you. But yes, obviously it would work. And I tried it in the what they call in the TV screen mirroring or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I did and went. And so keep going now. I didn't want.
So that should work. So it's just about setting it up properly on the phone, and it has nothing to do with the application.
Yeah, but I mean, it was amazing that putting the Chromecast in, which was $30, and don't have to use remotes or anything. Just go there, click it, click the icon that says cast, and there it is. And when you get out, then you need to go back into Plex. But it
Before
worked.
I had a TV
"Jeez."
with Vizio TV with built-in casting, and before the Roku supported that, I used Chromecast and I had to have an app on my iPhone to cast,
Yeah.
because there was no native support.
Well, you have to
No, I'm
download
saying now I think
the
there is native support, but my daughter is a Google as an Android phone person, so when she comes over, she always switches over to the Chromecast.
I
when she
had
wants
to
share stuff.
download. They tell you to download the Google Home app because that's how you configure it.
Right.
But it's just amazing that when you have the thing there, you don't even need instructions. Oh, there it is. Click. Boom. There it is. It was
Chromecast is a nice device. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no question about it.
well. It was before that when we had the Samsung TV and the Samsung phone. It went, Kathy could do anything that she wanted because it was working with each other without anything special. But now that it's an Android phone, I mean, it's this is a Motorola phone, not Samsung, and it's a different TV. It just didn't want to. And Gal, I thought about calling you many a times because I said, I know Gal will be able to figure it out. I said, I need to do it. And it's, I mean, you click on it and you say, do it. And you see at the bottom of the screen, it says switching to Moto G. And the screen goes blank and stays blank.
The easiest way is to just have duct tape and take the phone up and tape it to the screen.
I would just get an overhead projector.
Yeah.
No, $30 did it. So now she can do it easy. It's really, it doesn't take anything.
I still have two old video projectors, office style video projectors. Unfortunately, the resolution's not great.
Right. I still have one of those.
One's 640 by 480.
I still have one of those.
And I have another one that's a little higher. It's XGA. But still, the only inputs you have are
and forget about it.
Or S video.
Did you look at the price of the lamps for it? The bulbs?
The what for it? Price of the what?
The bulb.
Yeah, these are both low hour. The bulbs are low hours, so it's not bad.
Well,
but I used to project with it for different. I never set it up permanently.
Mm-hmm.
But they're both. What was the good brand name? I remember I bought one of them to take on the road with me because I actually had a rolling case and all this stuff because I take it with me when I did presentations, and it was $3,000 back then.
Man, damn, you do own Pepsi.
Is what?
You do own Pepsi. Walking around with a $3,000 projector. Damn.
Yeah, no, I didn't pay for it. That was good. I mean, I bought it for the company paid for it.
Nick, when we had the internet center and we had a classroom there, we bought a projector. Now we're talking back in 95, 96.
Before my time, literally.
$7,000.
Yeah, projectors used to be expensive. Absolutely.
And that wasn't even a table model, right? That's the one you had to mount on the ceiling.
No, it was a table model,
Was it a
but
table
we
model?
put it kind of on a shelf above there
Yeah.
so nobody would,
Yeah.
because they said that if you turn it off and it gets bumped, the bulb will burn out.
Oh, wow.
So it was much easier to just mount it there on the ceiling, and it wasn't where anybody could get to it. It worked fine. But I remember, and then when you start seeing the prices going down, I said, wow. And I think it was only like 1,200 lumens,
Yeah,
which
back then
wasn't
that was
much.
But that was a lot back then. You had to have
Yeah.
a dark room. But
Yeah.
that was a lot.
Yeah, you had to have
Yeah.
the room dark. You can't, not like today when you can have the lights on and project and still see it.
Yeah, but that's not always
So-
true, right? If you buy those cheap $50 or $60
No,
projectors
no,
off
you're right.
Amazon, you do need a dark room. Now, if
Yes.
you're going to
They're
buy
like
like
300 lumens. Yeah, they're
if
not
you're
a
going to
lot.
buy like a really nice BenQ or something like that, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
those do work, but you'll be spending a couple $1,000s.
Oh, really? Still?
Oh, for a nice projector, absolutely.
Okay. Interesting.
The Ben, yeah, I mean, like the BenQ 4K Home is $1,500.
Yeah,
Wow.
5,700. Yeah. Wow.
Alan says, "Nice unit, but does not have Ethernet." That's true. Yes, this Roku does not have Ethernet.
No,
the
none
the
of
Roku
them.
Premier.
None of
Yeah.
none of the
Yeah.
Rokus other than the one we have. What is it?
The Ultra 4K.
Ultra. The Ultra is the only one that has wired
Yep.
in Ethernet.
So know that going into it. But yeah. Now I'm actually having an issue with my whole Plex setup here. With my live TV.
You want to talk
I'll-
about it now, or you want to wait until after the specials?
I
It's
would
up to you.
love to wait till after the special.
Okay. Spence, are you ready for the specials?
Yeah. Just let me get it up on the screen here in a nice way that I can look at it. So today, try to mix it up every week, so it's not the same products or the same format or whatever. So today's a day to take a little bit of a different approach again. So what I did was I just looked for cool stuff for those of us who are technically adept or challenged, depending on your perspective.
What is? What about
So
Fauci?
yeah, that's the new standard that's going to come out. Everybody has to wear a fan on their head
To blow?
to blow the germs away. Don't laugh because
6 masks and a fan. What could possibly
That's it.
go wrong?
that and the anal swabs. That's what we're all ready for. I mean, there was a graphic I found that I chose not to put into the specials
Good.
of people lined up to get their anal swabs.
Never mind, Spence. Keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. So I don't know about you, but I need a distraction. That's today's theme.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day. Okay. So some of the cool stuff, and I had to rely on Amazon today. I did some searching, and typically when you go to a site where it's got cool products, they point back to Amazon anyway. So I did not include the links, but these things are all easily searchable.
Yeah.
So just for fun, if you work in an office, even if you work at home and you still would like to fool around during the day, we got this great Da Vinci catapult kit that you can make. I don't know how heavy it can throw stuff, but it's a catapult. It's not a trebuchet. You know the difference?
No.
A catapult uses a stretched, something gets stretched, like either a bow or a cord or something like that is what
Okay.
throws the weight. A trebuchet is a counterweight system
Okay.
where you didn't know that, did you? See,
No,
you
I did
learned
not.
something. Yeah, trebuchet is where you have like a bunch of rocks in a tray, and that sits at the end of the pivot point,
Like
and
a
it throws
seesaw
the thing.
With
Yeah,
a
so
with a heavy person on one side. Yeah.
go and look. There's videos online about people building these medieval machines, and then they use it to actually break down a stone wall. It's fascinating, just cool stuff to show how it was done.
I'd rather use a tank, but keep going.
Okay, there's no ancient tanks. All right, so I love this graphic, this shirt. It's the spinning wheel I'm thinking. Oh boy. There's some good shirts today. Another one we got, the Star Wars Darth Vader choking hazard shirt. Warning, choking hazard. Get it?
No.
You get it? No? Because Darth Vader, all he has to do is put his hand up like, like this, and people start to choke. Choking
We
hazard.
don't see you, so.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, you could puts his hand up, like, if he doesn't like somebody.
Oh,
wants to kill them,
when
holds his
he's
hand up and they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and they fall down. So, okay. All right. This is very cool. I actually think this is worth it for $10. Lightsaber chopsticks. They glow. Isn't that something? I'd love to.
so you can eat in the dark.
I want to go to, we have a Japanese restaurant that we go to once in a while.
Mhm.
And I order the bento box and I use chopsticks to eat. I'd love to take these with me to eat that. I think they'd really get a kick out of it. All right, Amnon, this is for you. On those nights when you can't sleep, you can project in a 3D image. I don't know how they do 3D. It says 3D, but it's a Star Wars image up on the ceiling with this alarm clock, and it could be remote controlled. You could just sit there and look at the stuff. It will help you relax.
Hmm.
No? Oh, sorry. Oh, well.
A projector for $16.
Yeah, well, it's not going to
Yeah.
project anything other than the images
Yeah.
that it has in it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they do it. Is it a template? I'm not sure. I mean, this stuff is amusing, but
Yeah.
All right, here's a good mug. Wi-Fi went down for 5 minutes, so I had to talk to my family. They seem like nice people. How true.
You
I mean,
know
I-
exactly how
I've
true.
been in people's houses where, you go to visit somebody and the person you're talking to might be talking to you, but everybody else is on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of sad.
It is.
But this next T-shirt is great. It's a silhouette of Bigfoot giving you the live long and prosper hand signal.
Mm.
Yes? No?
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one I like. It's shot glasses that are modeled after chemical beakers. So you have the different type of flasks and beakers that you can use to serve shots. And that would be fun. This next one, the clock. I actually had this, and I gave it as a gift to my daughter, who loves it. She uses it at work when she sits in front of her computer if her office gets warm. It's a clock. It spins, and the way the LEDs work, it looks like a transparent image of the clock, but it's also a fan. And do you remember the call waiting thing
Yeah.
that we had? I finally donated that somewhere, but it used the same principle where it used a spinning wheel with LEDs on it that would project just at the right moment to give you an image of the phone number, and it would give a message and all that stuff. But it's inexpensive, and it's actually a pretty cool thing. It's on a gooseneck, so you can move it around. Now, what you don't want to do, the blades are soft enough, but they're not completely soft, that if you stuck the wrong part of your body into it, it would hurt. I don't know if you get cut, but the point is that it is a spinning propeller blade with LEDs
Mhm.
on it. But hey, $15. It would make a nice gift for a tech nerd. The next one, believe it or not, you can buy multiple versions of this where it comes with 1, 2, or 3 in the package. It is a motion sensor toilet nightlight. I think I put this up years ago when it first came out. But
Oh,
what it
you hang it on the rim. Oh.
It hangs on the. Well, they also have ones that do automatic, motion sensing automatic deodorant for the toilet. But this is, you stick it on the rim, and it keeps, the light only comes on when you come into the room. So if you're coming in the middle of the night, you don't pee on the floor, right? So, or you land in the right place.
Mhm.
So, all right, the next one is, this is a cool kitchen gadget. It is a scissor that cuts with 5 separate blades for cutting up certain vegetables, whatever you're cutting up to make, for your
Chop
cooking.
it. Kind of.
Yeah. So what a cool thing. It's got a cleaning blade and a bunch of other stuff to go with it. So it's kind of interesting. Who in their house has a dirty microwave from people exploding food, not covering it? We now we have a cover thing for most of the stuff we put in the microwave because of, you go and you heat up leftover spaghetti, and as you hear this pop in the microwave, and you come, and the whole top of the microwave is covered with spaghetti sauce. So
Yeah, tomato is
Kathy always uses
and
a
it
paper.
gets baked on to the point where you like can't. So what people don't realize, the easiest way to clean your microwave is just to put a bowl of water in there, and you put a little bit of maybe you could put a little detergent or something in there, something added mildly, not a heavy solution. You boil it, just let it boil. It softens everything up, and you can clean it. But this is the Angry Mom cleaner, where you put the liquid into this thing, and you put it in there, and it boils, and it creates steam that will help you clean the microwave.
It comes
It
out
works
of
really
her.
well.
The steam comes out of her ears. I mean, out of her eyes and mouth.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't know, but it's pretty cool. It's a good reminder. And like, oh,
Yeah.
clean a microwave.
Yep.
What's wrong with you? This next one, I didn't even know something like that existed. It's a multi-stage sandwich maker, where you can make the whole thing at once. So you can put the bottom of the English muffin and the top of the English muffin in, and put in the egg and then the other stuff. It's got three different four heating surfaces, really. The bottom, two in the middle, and the one on the top. So you can make the sandwich all at once. How lazy, right? But still,
I mean,
hey, for $39, hey, with a timer. So I don't think you want to let the raw egg sit in there, though. It shows the egg looks like it's sunny side up. That's pretty amazing. But to make a hot sandwich like that, I don't think I would use it on the timer. I wouldn't want to be out of the room when it starts heating up something.
right.
Yeah. This Amnon, next one is for you when you have to crawl around underneath the house looking for something with a plumbing issue. These are LED lighted gloves. So it lights your fingertips. So you can, whatever you're reaching for and working on, you can actually see. You don't have to have a headlamp. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, but then you can't use your fingers. You can't use your hand, because you bend it and the light goes away.
Well, it's like when you're about to grab something and you go to squeeze it, it disappeared. What happened? I can't grab it anymore. Yeah. So the next one is a dry food dispenser. It's just like you see in hotels. When you go and you want to get breakfast, you go down. But this would be great if you snack on cereal, and I do sometimes. Have this in the kitchen. You walk by, turn one handful into your hand, and walk away. What a great idea! Right? Yeah. So if you have the same cereal you eat every day, you want to keep the counter clean. The kids can't be trusted to put the stuff back and seal the package and just leave it open. I hate stale cereal, but that's a cool idea.
This is.
The next one, it's a cleaning blob. You know how they make certain pliable surfaces that if you wash it, it becomes immediately sticky again, the kind of things you put on the dash of your car to keep your phone from sliding. Well, this is a soft version of that used for cleaning. And they show you cleaning your vents in your car, but this can also be used for cleaning your keyboard, cleaning your phone, anything that you don't want to get wet, that you want to clean off sticky goo off of. But the nice part about it is it's reusable. You wash it. And now I don't know if you use it the way it's shown here with these and you squeeze it together, the dirt might be forever embedded in it. But if you did this and you rinsed it immediately after with its original shape, you could keep reusing it. So it's a very clever idea. Universal cleaner for dust. All right. Those of you that cook a lot and you have a favorite set of spices that you use on a regular basis, this is a carousel with auto-measured distribution of spices. I know some people that could probably use this because they cook a lot. They do a lot, especially with the pandemic, they're making custom meals every day. They use the same, it's simple spices, stuff that you use on a regular basis. It's pretty cool. Do you remember, Amnon? You probably didn't look at the same comic books that I looked at when I was a kid, but
probably not.
There were two types of glasses that they would advertise in comic books: X-ray specs, they call them. And all they were was like a prism glasses or kaleidoscope kind of prism glasses that would make you see different colors. And they said, oh, it's X-ray. And they show the person putting them on and looking through somebody's clothes, which is ridiculous. But that was one version. But the other one was see what's behind you glasses.
Yeah.
And here they are again. It's cool. They have mirrors built into the sides of the sunglasses so you can look back and see what's behind you. So if somebody walks up behind you, you can see them. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this is for kids. It's a pack of 3. So it's not adult
Or
size.
for the young at heart.
Yeah, but it'd be fun. They would have a blast wearing these.
Yeah.
As long as nobody knew what they were. So, okay. Next one is a LED flexible USB light that looks like an astronaut. I have an LED flexible light that I bought for when I used to fly because I didn't have a lighted keyboard. It's just a gooseneck with a little LED on the end that I plug into the side of the computer, and then I can see the keyboard. But this takes it to a next step where it's actually a fun thing to have. It's a spaceman where the helmet is lit up. It's kind of cool. This next one is a great mask you can wear that shows the bottom of a guy with a mustache and beard. And what I didn't show here is that you can select the hair color: gray, blonde, red, brown, black, whatever you want to go with. If you want it to, depending on what you want, how you want the effect to look. So it's pretty cool. And this is a good sign for people that are, without coming out and saying something about, whether they're armed or whatever. This is a sign you can put out that says
We don't call 911.
Yeah, yeah, we don't call 911. Prayer is the best way to meet the Lord. Trespassing is faster. So I thought that was pretty good. Oh, the next one. The next one is great. Where can you find instant underpants for $11.90? You can keep this can in your pocket. You just have to add water, and it expands into a pair of underwear. So there's certain people that you could probably give this to that would be meaningful, right?
I guess.
Instant underpants. So, but the problem is you can't get it back into the can again once it's done. The next one, when you look at this, you say, what? What kind of what?
Yeah.
You could take a urinal with? No, it's a gag box that you can wrap somebody's present in. You would give them to use this box then to put on the actual real thing that you gave the person to make them think that it's really this portable urinal thing that you hang on your belt. One of the funniest things I ever saw, though, was I went to the movies one time. During the day, it was a matinee, and I forgot who I went with. It was one of the kids. And while we were there, a man walked in with 2 young children. One of them was still being potty trained. He brought the little potty with him to the movie. And the kid peed in it, and he carried it out at the end with, can you imagine? It was, I mean, I was like, back then I didn't have a camera phone. I would have taken a picture of it just because it's
some people just go way too far.
Well, he was responsible for watching the kids during the day, and he wanted to go to the movies. So the only way he could go was like, you don't have diapers.
No, then you put.
You're training the kid. Is that important that you train this kid that you bring the potty with you?
I know.
Oh my gosh! I mean, if it was the movie, if I was running the theater, I wouldn't let the guy in. That's ridiculous. I'm sure there's health reasons why you wouldn't do it, but that's like letting a kid into a hot tub wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
All right, so this Amnon, although the scale isn't very good here, I think it's probably photoshopped. They've got a pillow that is, it says soft lumbar pillow that looks like a loaf of bread. This could be $30. I hope it's big for $30. That'd be crazy if it wasn't.
I don't know what it can do to your lumbar. It looks like too soft. Look at her hand, the little girl.
These are one of those things when they have those expose web pages. I ordered this on Amazon, and this is what really came. So I'm sure this is not like the picture. Who knows? I like the ones where people order clothing. They show this model wearing this really nice outfit, and then they get this thing. It's like this rumpled up, crappy looking thing that's nothing like what the ad looks like. All right. So do you have your own face spatula, Amnon?
No.
For scraping your face? You don't have one?
No, I mean, look at my face.
Everybody that's concerned about hygiene has a face spatula. You can get one for $30. It's the facial cleansing scraper.
Okay.
And, wow. Could you use this in public? Like you finish your meal and you start cleaning your face with this thing? Oh boy. And if you're not, if you're bored out of your skull and you're looking for something to do at your desk, you have the handy horse now. It's a puppet that has 4 little push-on legs and 1 little head, and you can make a little puppet around and amuse yourself. It's only $8.42. And finally, I know somebody who has this. Actually, my son and daughter-in-law have this, and my grandchild Lucas plays with it. It's called a yodeling pickle, and you press the button, and it actually starts to yodel. It is an actual pickle sized. So keep it with you when you travel. It's just you bring it out at a meeting just to break the ice. I think it would be very effective. So there it is, off the beaten path today. Hope you've been distracted and thinking about something different today based on these crazy products.
Neato.
And as soon as the head fans are available, we'll be providing a link to the head fans. Now, what if you get 2 people with head fans on at the same time?
It fights each other.
Is there a protocol for who blows?
Like that old Popeye cartoon where the 2 fire departments are shooting the water at each other. And
Yes, yep. That's it for Computers 2K Now extra specials for Valentine's Day.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, Nick, you. Oh no, you already talked about it. Right.
What?
You. No, you didn't. That's right. You were waiting until after the specials.
So, Gal.
Yeah.
I'm out of memory. That using the HD home run on Plex uses a decent amount of memory because it buffers the video. And I'm now hitting a memory limit. So I'm going to have to get some new, upgrade the RAM in my virtual server here to give my VM a little bit more RAM.
How much RAM do you have right now?
7 gigabytes.
No, that should be enough.
It's
Even
not
with HD home run.
It's not just Plex that's running on it. There's a web server running on it. There's lots of things running on it. So it's an Ubuntu VM with a whole bunch of stuff running. But I'm using like 90% of the RAM prior to even using the HD home run.
So it's a VM that runs other things. Yeah, you don't have a VM just for the Plex stuff.
No, my VM is Ubuntu and it runs Apache, it runs a couple of other services, it runs Plex. So
go ahead.
I started realizing all of my stuff started buffering on all my TVs, like every 2 or 3 minutes. And then I looked and my memory was at 100% usage. So I believe that's my issue. So something to keep in mind of if you're trying to run this on a very low spec server, you might have to look at having enough memory available or swap available to do that. So
you don't want swap.
No, but I'm just saying if you're because that's what's happening is the memory's running out and then it's putting in the swap and then that's not what you want. So
did you tell me a couple of weeks ago that you were going to get more memory, Nick?
Yeah, I just hadn't gotten around to it yet.
Okay.
And I'm currently running at I'm currently using 6.5 gigabytes of memory.
Interesting.
Yeah, Plex is using some memory, and then there's Jacket is running on this, Transmission is running on it, so there's
now
there's some Portainer runs on this VM as well, so there's a whole bunch of stuff running on it.
Now I told you that my HD home run, we have the same HD home run, but mine in Plex says that it's supposed to encode. It does not do encoding, but I don't know, Gal, is this why you set it up to be encode is enabled, even though it cannot do it? I don't know what's the purpose.
I think it's enabled by default. If the HD home run can already encode,
it cannot.
Yeah, if it cannot, then it does the encoding on its own. But the Plex does it. But if it can, then it lets the
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that's running on here. So that's just something to keep an eye out for if you're trying to do something on an old computer with not the uh, best specs in the world. Something to keep an eye. Because I was like wondering, I was like, damn, why is this buffering so much? And then I logged into the Proxmox host, and I was like, oh well, out of memory.
So it was other programs on that computer in that VM that were buffering. It wasn't Plex or the
No,
TV.
no, it was live TV that was buffering. Yeah.
Now let me tell you something. I had that a lot in the beginning. Do you remember what was the reason? I
No.
ran out of disk space, and it was weird.
Yeah, I don't have a disk space. Just I've got like a terabyte and a half free.
Okay.
And the way that I know that it's not the HD Home Run is because I just for testing opened up so I use the HD Home Run app on my computer, which pulls it directly from the HD Home Run, and that's fine. No buffering, no nothing. So I believe that's my issue, which makes sense. I mean, yeah, I'm using 95.5% of the memory available on this VM. So something to keep an eye on.
You're not watching any TV now.
No.
So what is it running now?
I don't know.
Memory wise. I mean, can't you go and do top?
6.5 gigabytes.
Interesting. So what do you say, guys?
Oh no, right now it's using 1.5 gigabytes right now of memory.
And the minute you turn on the HD Home Run, it will jump up to.
Yeah, well, I'll check it again now.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's interesting. That is interesting. I wonder if it will use everything that it can. I mean, on the machine that I run Plex on, it's a 16, but it's just for Plex. I never looked at the memory, but I know that the load on the machine is like 2-3%, but it's running. I mean, that's all it's running. That's interesting.
Yeah. So either way, I think I'm going to upgrade the memory anyway. But just something to keep an eye on if you're trying to do this on a super low spec machine. So.
Okay, Alan, what do you want to talk about Plex?
You know, actually, I'm stupid.
No, you're not.
The moral. No, I am. That's what the moral is.
What did you just realize?
I've been looking at the wrong memory usage.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, you still have buffering.
Yeah, but I don't think it's because of that. I was looking at this in my VM host, and it's overall memory usage. It's not how much memory I'm actually using. I'm only using 1.5 gigabytes of memory.
But what happens when you turn?
I just turned it on. It's playing right now,
and it's still gig.
Well, I mean, I just started. I don't know.
What give us the specs of the machine again?
I can't. I mean, it's a virtual machine. I can't really give you the specs per se. It's got 7 gigabytes of memory.
There was some story about older machines. I guess I did not save it, but no. Oh yeah, here it is. So it goes, if you're one of the few people still using a PC with an x86 processor more than 15 years old, Here's another reason to upgrade. The devices will not work with future Chrome releases, starting with version 89 of the world's most popular browser. The Chromium development team announced that CPUs older than the Intel Core 2 Duo and AMD Athlon 64 will not work with Chrome 89 in future version, as they do not meet the new minimum instruction set required of SSE3 supplemental streaming SIMD extension. So if you are still sporting an Intel Atom or Celeron M CPU, you will soon be counting Chrome as one of many programs that are incompatible with your potato-like rig. The devices will no longer attempt to install the browser while running. It will result in the software crashing. It's noted that the change only affects Windows as Chrome OS. Android and Mac already require SSE3 support. So, a reason to upgrade. Don't update. I mean, it'll be crazy. You can't update machine that old, but it's a reason to upgrade. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend thousands of dollars. You can go ahead and buy a used machine, a i7 quad or whatever, something used that it's older, but it's current, and use it. What else? Hello? Anybody there?
Hello.
Hello?
Nothing.
All right. Here is something very, very disturbing. The Florida Water Treatment Facility, whose computer system experienced a potentially hazardous computer breach last week, used an unsupported version of Windows with no firewall and shared the same TeamViewer password among its employees, government officials reported.
Security is highly overrated.
Yeah, they were, and look, they were not using XP. They were using Windows 7. The computer intrusion happened last Friday in Oldsmar, a Florida city about 15,000. That's roughly 15 miles north of Tampa. After gaining remote access to a computer that controlled equipment inside the Oldsmar water treatment plant, the unknown intruder increased the amount of sodium hydroxide, a caustic chemical better known as lye, by a factor of 100. The tampering could have caused severe sickness or death had it not been for safeguards that the city has in place. Some heads should roll there. I mean, you can use Windows 7, but why is the firewall not on? Why aren't there? I mean, if you are using 7, you should put extra guards on that machine, because
You
it
should not
is
be
not
using
up
Windows.
to-
You should not be using Windows 7.
Well, I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah, they should not.
You
I agree.
If you have a computer connected to the internet, you should not be using Windows 7.
Yeah.
There's no explanation. No.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and here it's not your own computer at home. I mean, this is a computer that controls a part of, I mean, the people's health. I mean, it's a water treatment.
Hold on a second here, Am. I've got to step in here. Are you trying to tell me right now on Computers 2K Now, a program you've been doing for over 20 years,
Yeah.
that a government body and a government system is not looking out for their constituents? Are you trying to make that claim here on this program on Valentine's Day of all days?
Hey, Nick.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, Nick.
Making such a comment like that. Yes.
I still love you.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to be my gal. What are you doing for Valentine's Day? I need a new Valentine. After Amnon made these
I'm all on my
blasphemous
own.
comments on the air. Yeah, that's insane. Here's the thing, though. So you said it was a county water department?
It is Florida Water Treatment Facility. No, it's just a Florida Water
Well, the
Treatment
question is,
Facility.
where's the jurisdiction?
It's a
Is it
city.
sti-
It's a city
so-
of 15,000, but they don't say.
So then it's likely controlled by whatever county's
Yeah.
IT department.
Yeah, well,
So they've got whatever county it's in probably has a crappy IT department.
that's what I'm saying. Heads should be rolling, because if I'm a tenant, if I'm a resident of that city, and I don't know how many other cities may be getting some of this water, this is gross irresponsibility.
You know, I would imagine that that's probably pretty common. I would imagine that a lot of these public utilities, water, sewers, have these old antiquated systems.
Very
probably
possible, yeah.
more than you would expect.
Well, it's
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
really bad. Really.
You know what? I mean, it's kind of political, but not really.
Okay.
It eventually needs to get to the point where people just like say, "Hey, you know what? I'm just not going to pay my city taxes anymore." Like, hey, if you're gonna allow, again, this was not a hack on Windows 10, right? This is an operating system that has been end of life since.
Right. When
was
a
it?
few
Was it
years.
early 2020? It's been out of support now for at least a year, if not longer.
More longer.
That's when you stop paying your city taxes. They come to collect your city tax. No, what am I paying city taxes for? I mean, eventually, obviously that's maybe a little bit of a gross simplification, but at some point you got to say this is bullshit. What am I paying for?
It is bull. It's exactly what it is.
So, I mean, yeah, that would be interesting. If I lived in that city, that would be a great petition to start.
Oh. All right, here's something else that I know will affect a couple of people that I know if it happens. Twitter is building a subscription product as a way to ease its dependence on advertising. A plan the social network has considered for years, and one that has taken on a heightened priority given the pandemic and pressure from activist investors to accelerate growth. Possible ways to generate recurring revenue include charging for the use of services like, you ready, Nick? TweetDeck,
Oh yeah, I saw they're going to start to that. Yeah.
or advanced user features like undo send or profile customization options. So they want to make it a pay-for service. I thought TweetDeck was a third party.
It was. They bought it a couple years ago.
Oh,
That's fine. This is how you can tell the empire's about to fall. In my humble opinion,
I hope so.
this is the indication that the empire of Twitter is going to fall when you can't go back and get funding. Again, Twitter's one of the most used social net. It
Right.
may be the most used social network in the world. If not the first, it's definitely the second behind Facebook, not including anything that's going on in China, because I don't really care about that. Yeah, when they're going to charge users for options like TweetDeck, you know that things are not great, because that's not a high volume thing.
Right. It's for geeks.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
for
just not
people
a-
that really know how to use it.
Yeah, but again, it's not a high volume thing.
Right.
What are you going to get? 100,000 users? I mean, you're not going to have millions of people paying
Yeah.
for this. It's not going to be like Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have 10 million users. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. This is good. Bring it on.
Gal, you're awfully quiet.
Been busy with.
Okay.
some-
All right. Here is something else. A benign barcode scanner with more than 10 million downloads from Google Play has been caught receiving an upgrade that turned it into the dark side, prompting the search and advertising giant to remove it. Barcode scanner, I guess that's what it's called, one of dozens of such app available in the official Google App Repository, began its life as a legitimate offering. Then, in late December, researchers with security firm Malwarebytes began receiving messages from customers complaining that ads were opening out of nowhere on their default browser. So, if you're using something like this, it's called barcode scanner, and you see ads popping up that you did not experience in months before, you have malware on your hand.
By the way, talking about barcode scanners and Android.
Yeah.
So it has been like the norm to download an app to do that scanning. And one of the things I've noticed, I don't know what happens with Chrome because I haven't been using it on the phone for a while, but I use the Firefox on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and on when I'm entering, show it on the screen. When I'm entering an address, right, or a search term,
Yeah.
there's an icon. I hope you can see it there on the. For me, it's on the right side. It'll probably show mirrored. So there's a scan button over there, right around here,
Mm-hmm.
and that just switches on the barcode scanner for
And it's a bar.
for the phone, and it's built into the browser.
Okay.
So no need for an extra
App.
An extra app. Now, if the URL is to be opened in another app, right? That's also handled by the browser. The browser just says, "Hey, this is going to open this third-party app. Do you want to allow it? Yes, no." So this way, you can use something. I mean, that you're going to use
Interesting.
anyway, your browser, right?
Yeah.
And it'll scan barcodes, and you don't need to install an additional piece of software. So keep that in mind. Just a tip.
Huh. Well, yeah, every browser should have that.
Yep.
Interesting.
So I I hung up my ham radio antenna yesterday
Oh,
outside. I've got some pictures. I'm not sure it will
did you do it all by yourself, or did Paul
I
come
did.
over?
I did. I don't know why. I don't know. I was at a meeting in the morning and I was kind of up and it stopped raining and I said, all right, let's go out there. So I strung it up between my two sheds. And got it all run inside the house here, and I'm able to listen on HF, which is cool. So I've been browsing the 20-meter band and seeing what's going on. So I will
Very
recommend,
nice.
as I have done in the past, get your ham radio license. It is cheap, it is a very cool hobby, and it is a lot of fun.
Yep. Do you remember?
As long as you don't have an HOA, then you're good.
Oh, I mean, I don't think they'll say anything about that.
Oh, they absolutely will. That is a huge thing that goes on. That's why I bought a house without an HOA. And
What do you
I'm
mean
not
it's a
even joking.
huge thing? You can't even string a wire between two sheds in the backyard?
No. HOAs are, so there's a whole thing going on where, well, it's not a whole thing. It's so, you know, the ham radio is unlike CB, right? It is a licensed
Yeah.
entity. You have
Right.
to go take a test, and then you have, so like I am licensed with the FCC. I've got an FRN. I'm fully registered with the FCC.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, you know, if you just wanted to, like, right, you want to put a big flagpole in your front yard, right? There's no licensing for that, right? The HOA says we don't allow
Right.
flagpoles over a certain height, whatever.
Right.
It's a little bit different with ham radio because, first of all, it is known as critical communications. So there's that function of it. And it's also regulated by the FCC. So HOAs are not. There are some rules where HOAs are not supposed to
Restrict it.
restrict certain things, but that's only as good as
I thought it was for
You know.
eyesores. They don't want
No,
you to put like a
no,
big dipole.
no.
Uh,
You should. HOAs are awful. I
Yeah,
mean, they
yeah.
HOAs will literally restrict. I mean, Gal, do you have an HOA?
Yeah.
They tell you what kind of mailboxes you can have and stuff.
Yeah, again,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Everything's
depends
controlled.
But
on-
that's an
when they write-
eyesore.
The HOA. Yeah.
When they write the covenants, when they build a community, the builder can actually set the covenants. And then when you live there, you sign a document saying, I will adhere to these covenants.
Exactly.
So you're stuck unless the majority of people, if they take over the HOA at some point, they can vote in and out different rules. But it's up to them to enforce it. And they can, if they have a restriction to say you can't do something, they can fine you. They can
take your house.
They could put a lien on your property for not
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay,
It
so
is the most local form of government in the world.
wait a second. So
Yeah.
how do they specify a ham radio antenna is prohibited?
Because they will say
No.
something.
What would it say? Yeah, that's what I'm.
No,
it depends on
it
the
needs
covenant.
to go through approval, right? Because you're changing the appearance of your home.
No, you don't.
So
You are.
if you want to paint,
That's a different story. That's a
Right.
different story.
You're putting something outside. It is changing the appearance of the home. That needs approval.
Hmm.
Anything
Yeah,
needs
that's
approval.
literally when I was looking for the house. My realtor said, "What do you want or need?" I said, "This is my price point, and I will not live in an HOA." Those were my two. I only had one thing. I just didn't want to live in an HOA. He could have found me a freaking cardboard box, and I would have said, "Oh, great, that's my price point, fantastic." But it's a serious thing, and if you go look at it, a lot of people that live in HOAs, they put antennas in their attics. They string dipoles along the eaves of the houses because, yeah, the HOA will not allow. Now, there is a big thing going on because, again, it is a regulated service, and it's also, again, it's critical communications. So that is there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's just not worth, for me, it was just not worth living in an HOA and dealing with that. Nothing better than moving into a neighborhood and being like, hey, I'd like to put up a 170-foot tower in my backyard.
There are
No,
good points
that's-
to an HOA. You don't want people parking cars on their front lawn with no wheels.
Exactly.
Things like that. But at the same time, there are some things that are extremely restrictive that are unnecessary. But hey, if you live there and you agree to it, you're stuck. I have neighbors who took down trees that didn't get permission from the homeowners association. They got fined because they didn't ask. Yeah.
Nick,
So
are you telling me that if I drove through your neighborhood and you have that antenna strung between the two buildings, that I would even see it?
It doesn't matter. It's all it needs is my neighbor who probably hates me to call the HOA president and say, "Hey, Nick just hung something up in his backyard." And then they're going to come over and they're going to look at it and then they're going to tell me they're going to tell me to take it down, or as Spence said, they'll put a lien on your property. So yeah. But and that's what the ARRL is doing right now, is because there is a serious issue going on with this, because it is, I mean, like in the case of hurricanes and stuff down here, like during Hurricane Florence, I was literally out of gas. Like I was driving around and my fuel pump was on, or my fuel tank was on E. The light was on. And I went to 3 or 4 different gas stations. Nobody had power. And I just kept calling on the international calling frequency. Hey, anybody know where there's gas? Anybody know where there's gas? And finally, somebody was like, hey, get over here right now. They just opened up. I was able to get gas. I mean, literally, and saved my life. I'm not AOC. But it significantly helped. I would have been fucked. I would have been stranded in the middle of the road without gas during a hurricane. It would have not been great.
And there can be some very vindictive people that we had. The guy who was in our neighborhood who was on the board of the architectural committee board, he violated several rules that he enforced on other people. Just the way he was. When we moved here, you weren't allowed to have a basketball backboard. It had to be on your driveway. You couldn't be in the street couldn't be permanent. So what I did was I bought a portable one and I rolled it down, had it sitting on my lawn in the street. It wasn't illegal. It wasn't in violation. They sicked the cops on me. A police officer came around. My son's out there playing basketball. Where's your parents? And my wife came out and said, "What's the problem?" "Well, you shouldn't be using this." She goes, "It's not against the rules. We don't follow the association." "Well, there's a law that says that kids can't play in the street." I said, "What?" "We moved to this neighborhood because everybody lets their kids play in the street." "Oh yeah, we can enforce that." So they were selectively enforcing it because this guy didn't like the fact that I got around the regulation.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
HOAs are a joke. I mean, it's power hungry. Of course, this is a generality. I'm not saying this about everybody.
It
It's
depends on
general-
who's on the board, but most people don't want to run for this stuff because they don't want to deal with the people. So
Yeah,
you
so you
wind up
gotta-
having people on these boards who are there maybe for the wrong reasons.
You get a bunch of Karens on your board, and then your life's a living hell. So yeah,
Yeah, you got to apply to get to change the color of your front door where I live, if you want to paint it a different color.
yeah, that's.
And there are
freaking
people
insane.
that drive around and look.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we're getting into this, but
Oh, because we're talking about ham
no,
radio.
yeah, but that happened to Ron. Ron, my system administrator. There was something that was not specified in the HOA. I don't know how it worked out, but it turned out that when they got into it, they just bought a new house, had it built. There was a wooden porch in the front. It passed everything. Then they told them they have to tear it down because it's against the HOA. And when they got into it, they found out that the HOA was pulling a lot of these things on tenants. They had them fired, and they voted in a brand new HOA that
Actually, you need to distinguish between HOA and property management companies because they're two
Yeah.
different
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
A
it's
property
two- yeah.
management company,
the management company, they changed also when they fired them.
yeah, they administer the
Yeah.
HOA rules, but
Yeah.
there are people who are residents who are on the HOA,
Right.
homeowners association.
Yeah, I'm talking about the residents. So now everything is nice in the neighborhood. They fixed the HOA rules to be fair, that nobody has to destroy their house. And obviously there was nothing really bad, but you're talking about not being, and people don't like to run for these things. It's true. People did not want to run, and Ron's wife ended up running for president, and she was the only one. So she said, okay.
Yeah.
But it's,
But
at least they're doing good.
Back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just something to keep an eye out for if you're going to look into
Right.
getting into this hobby. Is where
So
do you live
there
and
are
what the
ways around it,
restrictions?
but you have
Yeah, I mean,
to
you
work
put something in your attic.
You
I
have
mean,
to-
you can, depending on how big your house is, you can string an antenna in your. And they sell ham radio antennas that are quarter wavelength that are meant to go in an attic or a situation where it is covered. Now, obviously, you don't get as good of a pattern as if you had a
Right.
full length dipole outside. But
How long is a quarter wave if you put it out straight?
it's a quarter wave of whatever the frequency is, so it depends on what it's
Oh,
resonant.
so
on, like a
okay,
tw-
yeah, right. I had
so
a,
like a
I had a
20
quarter wave CB antenna, the whip antenna on my car.
Yeah, so whatever
It was
frequency.
like fiberglass. It was like 6 feet.
Yeah, so like if you're looking at a like 20 meters, I'd have to do the math on it, but it's a quarter wavelength of 20 meters.
Amnon, you still have any working CBs?
Yes.
I actually dragged one out the other day. I used my 12-volt portable power supply and I turned it on and I just monitored like channel 19. I heard nothing.
It's not
nothing.
very well used
No.
at all.
This is a good time to have CBs in your car if you wanted to,
Yeah,
No,
because
it's
nobody
not. It's a
uses it.
terrible
because nobody's
There's
using it. It'll be your
Yeah.
private channel.
Alan says, I was hoping it would be the Plex. Alan, what is your Plex question? Now let's talk about Plex. What are we talking about? Call in.
Yeah, that would be good.
We've got a couple of Gal knows Plex incredibly well. I know Plex a little bit. Amnon's a Plex. Amnon actually wrote the book Plex for Dummies. So I mean, we're all we're all.
Thank you
experts.
very much.
You wrote the book. You have to be an expert to write the book.
Yeah. What's the matter, Eli? What? I mean, you know that we always regress. What's wrong with that? You're not new here. It's all right.
I quit. It's my last show. I'm resigning.
Did you see what Channel 6 works when Skip is in? What? That's interesting.
Oh, you're saying Channel 6 works when Skip is in.
You're talking about CB again. Oh,
atmospheric skip.
Yeah.
E-skip, baby.
But no, Nick, you were saying that you noticed after you put it in that suddenly the channels changed. It added, it deleted.
Oh yeah, I got a couple new. I caught a couple new channels, but I don't believe they don't come in very well.
Yeah. So do you go and disable them in Plex?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're disabled in Plex.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what was the tuner you bought?
I got the 4-tuner HD home run. It is called the Silicon Dust HD HR5. It's the Quadro.
And does it only talk one specific protocol, or are there several you can pick that would work with different services?
It'll work with a whole bunch of services. So like it works with I threw the box away. It had a list of everything. It works with it's got apps on all the phones. It's got Plex, MB, Xbox, PlayStation, Roku. I don't think of Apple TV, but Fire TV. I mean, this is the gold standard of TV tuners. It just works with everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking at
it's
it
a
now.
cool device.
Yeah. Does it work with Fire Stick?
Yes, it will. The disadvantage of this one though specifically is the disadvantage of this unit is it does not have any DVR capabilities. So that's why I run it through a Plex server, so that can do my DVR. But they do sell versions that have DVR storage built into them, so you can use the device by itself. So that is also an option.
Yeah, and Spence, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, girl, but I don't think this has anything to do with working with Fire Stick or Roku or whatever, because it works. I mean, if I go to the Roku, I don't think I see the HD home run. The Plex sees the HD home run.
No, I understand, but what Nick is saying is it does have native support for.
You can install the app though. There is an HD home run app on the Roku. Yeah. You just don't have it installed
because
you don't want it.
And you can watch that way. That's what I mean. Is it? I realize it's not going to be like it's going to just show up and that they're going to see it.
It will just show up.
No, I mean, if you have a Roku, it's not just going to see the home.
You have to install the app.
Run.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
it depends. It depends on how plug and play you want to be. I might get to the point someday where I, have enough time and brain cells to build a Plex server and go ahead and go down that route.
Gal, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah. Building a Plex server, by the way, it's anybody that says that, it sounds like this very complex process. It isn't. Anyway.
I don't think it's complex. I think I just don't have the time. That's all. I have something that works right now,
so I think you'll be really surprised that you install the software and you run it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, to Alan's point, so he's asking about why his iPhone and iPad are requesting a Plex pass, and I'll explain. So Plex is generally free, right? There is a paid version which is called the Plex Pass, which is a subscription. And and that usually costs. I don't know if they're still at $5 a month, but it used to cost $5 a month. And there's uh, and there's something called platform activation. So the two platforms that require activation are iOS and Android, not the Fire TV, but the Android itself. And the reasoning behind it is, at least at the past, they had a third party provide them with the software, so it cost them money to produce these applications, and so it's that model is still there. The idea is, for platform activation, you pay a one-time fee, uh, I think $5 as well, a one-time fee, and then that platform is activated for your account. Okay, so it's not a subscription, it's not a pass. A pass includes platform activation, but uh, once you stop paying for Plex Pass, then you get get that. And of course, that's true, Alan. There is lifetime. There's the offer to pay by lifetime, which for that I would just recommend wait for a deal. Register a keyword in Slick Deals, and wait for a sale on a Plex Pass lifetime, because the full price can be hefty, especially if you're new to the platform. It seems like a lot of money. I actually paid the full price. So had
Yeah,
I known that a sale would be substantial, I think Amnon, we got
yeah. I
yours on
just
a
got it
sale, right?
a few months ago when Nick sent it to me, or you sent it to me, and it was like $85
Exactly.
lifetime.
So yeah, wait for a sale price. Look at Slick Deals, because when a deal comes up in Slick Deals, the forum there, they discuss previous prices, etc. So you know if it's a good deal or not, etc. So if you have Plex Pass on your account, you will be able to use with that account on any platform whatsoever. But the smart TVs, they don't require any payment. That works. Um,
What
there are some benefits of using Plex Pass, but those are usually if you run a server, right? If you're
what
just running a player,
what
something
about
that
the guide?
again, if you're running a server, right?
Oh, okay,
That's when you need the Plex Pass, because you need services that have to do with your server.
okay,
But if you're just running a player without a server, no big deal. You can use it for free.
okay.
If you want to use it on your Android or on your iPhone, you'll need to pay once $5 on an iOS device, and once $5 on an Android device, and on an Android device, and then you'll be able to use it there. I don't remember if the PlayStation 4, I think that had the Plex Pass fee as well. But most applications, they don't require the Plex Pass fee.
Couple
I
of
hope that clears that up, Alan.
couple of quick things. So there's some questions. By the way, God, I just got a text message from my father that says that the Plex on the Chromebook is still not working. Chrome did an update a couple months ago. A Chromebook did an update a couple months ago that has apparently broken Plex for a lot of users on Chromebooks using the built-in browser. So that still doesn't work. There are other options. You can sideload another browser, but by default, it doesn't work. And then Alan posted something in here about he said NTSC 3.0. It's actually ATSC 3.0.
Yeah, I put a link up to the webpage that has the deployment map.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like for example, Raleigh had WRAL was the first in the country to do ATSC 3.0. Their transmitter is actually offline now. I don't believe, they're not, I don't believe they're on the air anymore. They were on channel 39. But I don't believe that station's on the air anymore. Just because they're being repacked. because of the bandwidth that the FCC sold off. So I don't think ATSC 3.0 are. I don't think ATSC 3.0 is going to be popular for a period of time. I'd give it at least a couple of years before, because they with the repack they took a whole bunch. Like for example, WRL's, which their call sign was WRALEX experimental. They don't have a license anymore because of the repack. So their ATSC 3.0 transmitter is not on the air, or at least it wasn't. So
They
Okay.
were the first to carry digital broadcasts
HD.
way ahead of everybody
1999.
else, and they were giving out free antennas.
Yeah.
At one point. Remember that, Amnon?
very like or hate their politics, they have always been they've always been a trendsetter when it comes to technology. That's one thing you can't take away from them. Capital Broadcasting's been very upfront with technology. They always have been.
Yep. All right.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Do you guys remember we talked a couple of weeks ago about the fact that CentOS is gone? So
Yeah.
now Alma Linux describes itself as an open source community driven project that intends to fill the gap left by the demise of the CentOS stable release. And now Alma Linux has announced their beta release of their CentOS /RHEL 8.4. So they're coming. So they're coming in to fill up the gap that was left. So apparently you can look for Alma Linux, ALMA Linux. It's one word. And if you were using CentOS or you want to go in the same direction, you can get it through them. Gal,
Mhm.
you showed me how to actually do away with the backup services of Verizon and do it with Google for the phone.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the default in
Okay.
Android. Yeah.
So listen to this. Threat actors have discovered they can abuse the Google Chrome sync feature to send commands to infected browsers and steal data from infected systems, bypassing traditional firewalls and other network defenses. For non-Chrome users, Chrome Sync is a feature of the Chrome web browser that stores copies of users' Chrome bookmarks, browsing history, passwords, and browser and extension settings on Google's cloud server. The feature is used to sync these details between the user's different devices, so the user always has access to his most recent Chrome data wherever they go. A Croatian security researcher said on Thursday that during a recent incident, he discovered that a malicious Chrome extension was abusing the Chrome Sync feature as a way to communicate with a remote command and control server and as a way to exfiltrate data from infected browsers. So it's not in the wild. It's not really out there. I mean, he found out that they can do it. Hopefully it's fixed. But I just saw the story and I said, oh, interesting. Now that I'm doing it, they decided they're going to break it. So it's something to just keep in mind. It works great, by the way. The whole thing. I never paid attention to it before. Apparently, it was on, and I didn't even know. Of course, it did not restore the stuff to my new phone somehow. But so, what do you have to say about that, Gal? Are you reading about it? Oh,
I mean, I've been, other than preaching what I've preached, is never trust a built-in password tool, right? Always use something that is separate. I would also go and say never use the most popular browser. Never use
that's
because
always a
those are
good. Yeah,
those are the biggest attack vectors
sure.
in general. Always look at the security fringes if that's a concern of yours. But yeah,
Couple more short stories. Spotify announced Friday it's adapting a work from anywhere model, which will allow employees to choose whether they want to be at the office full time, at the home full time, or a combination. It's becoming a trend with big companies that have workers all over. It's interesting. Now, those of you with Lenovo's computers, I mean, people were asking me, a recommendation for a laptop, and Lenovo comes out, sort of like at the top because all the other ones have problems. Not that it doesn't. Since late January, most users running a pre-installed Lenovo image of Windows 10 have been bitten by a bug in Lenovo's system updates service, SUS service, causing it to constantly occupy a CPU thread. This was not noticed by many ThinkPad and IdeaPad users as an unexpected increase in fan noise. But many desktop users might not notice the problem. Lenovo does not provide an official support venue for their software, and the problem has persisted for several weeks with no indication of a patch forthcoming. While this bug continues to persist, anyone with a pre-installed Lenovo image of Windows 10 will have greatly reduced battery life on a laptop and greatly increased power consumption in any case. Lenovo's official forums and unofficial Reddit pages have seen several threads pop up since late January, with confused users noticing the issue. So far, Lenovo is yet to issue an official statement. Users have recommended uninstalling the Lenovo system update service as a workaround, but that won't stop this power virus from eating up megawatts of power around the world for those who don't notice the power virus impact on system performance. On desktops, you're not going to see it much, but it's there. And they were talking, it's probably a couple of bucks a month in power, but when you look at it in thousands of computers, you have to worry about it. And I didn't see anybody here. Why can't you just uninstall the whole thing and install Windows 10 from a CD, not from an image?
I have a customer that has several Lenovo machines, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
So they were older machines with Windows 7 on them, and I upgraded them to 10, and they have clean installs. They do have one new laptop that
came with
their update, and I haven't heard. I have two customers that have brand new laptops from Lenovo that have their management software running in the background. I don't know. They haven't said anything to me, but they may not.
I mean, a lot of people
notice it.
will not notice it. They said that what would happen is the fan will run faster because it's getting hot inside the computer.
Wow, it's taking up that much cycles?
Apparently.
I
Wow.
would recommend using Snappy Driver installer, with what we talked about in the
Yeah.
past. That usually
That's good.
recommends the most how they call it? They have a term for it. It's like optimal driver.
Best available is what I think was what they call it.
Optimal the driver. It might say there is a newer driver, but use an older driver, but an optimal one, a choice, something like that. and that usually helps fix situations like this. So I don't know if this particular case is, but that would be a suggestion of mine to these people.
When I go look
Try
at these
that.
machines, depending on, when I go in there to look at them, I find out that there are all these Lenovo alerts that just ignore anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't update anything because they just not. It doesn't just. It's not a. They don't even update Windows. So
Yeah.
I have it set
Yeah.
up automatically now. But oh well, guys, I got to go. I have family.
Yeah, we
coming
need
over,
to end the show anyway. Okay, Spence. Thank you.
All right. Well, guys, have a good week.
You too.
Hang in there.
We'll talk.
All right. Bye.
All right. Anything else, Nick? Gal?
Nope.
All right. So thanks again, Spence, Gal, Nick. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Dina, Eleanor, Arlette and Micha. Thanks everybody for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Tonight at 7, Nick does his Against the Norm show at atnshow.com. And Tuesday evening, Nick also does the Infection podcast, a survival game podcast with Brian. And that's at 7 p.m. at infectionpodcast.com, or you can go directly to Twitch, twitch.tv/infectionpodcast, one word. We'll see you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.